Good morning. Good morning from Montana. You can see the background that I'm in a little bit different place. I'm down at my daughter's, and as soon as I'm done with this video, I get to go out and hike around in the woods while they get a Christmas tree. So it'll be really fun to be outside. But I wanted to bring this to you because we have some huge symptoms and a couple of big flares, but something more is going on. I want to talk about that. So we're in this really unusual moment, one that is subtle on the outside, but incredibly active on the inside. You know this, you can feel it, right? Energetically, the sun is kind of weird. I would say weird because it goes from low C's to, like a M, middle class M, and then up to a M8 yesterday, right? But the collective field is not quiet, and many of you, me included, right, are feeling off, foggy, emotional, tired, overstimulated, or even unsure. I was hesitating as to whether it was the right time to do this video because I did a delayed one last week on Wednesday. And I thought it might be too soon. And then everything inside me said, no, it's time to do something that's more stabilizing, something that's more nurturing. So that's why I'm here today, set up on a playroom couch, right? to be able to connect with you today, this Sunday. So this week has sort of felt like, wow, I can't get any traction. I'm wandering around a bit. I feel like I'm in my body, but I don't know that I'm completely in my body. Nothing is wrong, but nothing feels right either. Like I'm waiting for something. I don't know what I'm feeling, but I'm feeling something big. Like hold my breath, keep my eyes open, something's coming. So today I want to help you stabilize all of that and understand that your body is registering, right? Long before your mind can make sense of it. So that's what we've been talking about week after week, is that our body is giving us information and we get to decide, right? Like, is my body correct? And what if my mind is jumping to conclusions? And there's other ways that I can do this. And that this is what your body is responding to. Your body is responding to something that is happening that isn't solar. It's Neptune, and it's dissolving the old consciousness grid. Does that make sense? And we're going to talk about Neptune because it's huge. So you don't have to be an astrologer. You don't have to understand the planet. Let's just talk about the energy of what and how it's affecting us. So this has been a strange week, right? With big feelings. And we can't say that there has been no solar flares because last Sunday, at the close of our United States Thanksgiving weekend, we had an X1.9, which on Wednesday's video, the previous one, you can go listen to that, and I'll talk about how that was not a normal flare, and it really destabilized us on a lot of levels, right? On Thursday, we had an M6. On Saturday, yesterday, we had an M8.2, which is a point and a half away from an X flare, right? And we've had some unsettled geomagnetic field pulsing between KP3 and KP4. We've had some radio blackouts. There's been some pieces that have been affecting all of this, right? But nothing compared to the 5X class flares we had earlier this month, right? So it's very different, and everyone is feeling more. More is the best way to put it. There's just more out there. I'm feeling more. Oh, what is this? So this is your first clue. And it's not the flare level, it's the field. It's your personal field, it's the earth field. The body is responding to a deeper shift in consciousness and not the flare chart. And that makes so much sense to me. So let's talk about what we also just came off of, which is the Gemini full moon. Plus, we're still in the Water Trine. And we have this mental opening that's happening with the Water Trine when Mercury was retrograde. Yeah, it's still retrograde. And the emotional tides that are affecting all of us. So this Gemini moon, full moon on Thursday, which is only 3 days ago, opened up the mental field. Our ideas, our insights, our overstimulation, our inner dialogue, our overthinking all started to come to the surface. And at the same time, with the ongoing Water Trine, which is like when Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer are affecting the planets, it's bringing up And let's really pay attention to this list. Our old emotions, our linear or lineage. It's lineage. It's lineage. Our ancestral debris, forgotten memories, intuitive spikes, like, wow, I'm getting information I haven't gotten before, and our sensitivity to other people's moods. Like, I can feel what they're feeling right now, and it's a little disconcerting, right? So this is why you feel both. My mind is really super busy and my heart feels heavy and very tender. So because our heart feels tender and because our mind is in overstimulation, I'm using a quieter voice. I'm sort of doing a rhythmic sort of holding, as if when I'm coaching, I'm doing that, yeah. Or when I'm holding my baby granddaughter and going, hmm, yeah, yeah, right here. Because these two currents are happening and they're part of the same ocean. They're part of the same world we are participating in. So, the real story, the reason we are so ticked, is that Neptune turns direct on December 10th in 3 days. So, here's the deeper truth: we're entering the final month, the final degrees of Neptune in Pisces in this lifetime, because Neptune takes 165 years to orbit the sun. So Neptune dissolves our illusions, it removes masks, it dissolves old timelines, it dissolves control, it dissolves coping strategies, it dissolves false identities, it dissolves inherited narratives. And I want to do a pause right there because I just realized that on December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor was bombed and it entered the United States into World War II officially. So when we're looking at old narratives, false identities, controls, right? Old timelines, there's got to be some heaviness also going on today because it's like, what if some of that was true? What if some of that isn't true? What do I do with all that information that I've learned? So we're unspiraling our parents and our grandparents' relationship with that war, as well as what we inherited from them. It makes sense. So Pisces holds, this is, let me just say, Pisces is where Neptune is now. It's been in Pisces since 2011. So you've been stirring up. And I look at the trajectory of my growth, whether it was choosing to be a coach, going to mystery school, the kind of metaphysical esoteric work that I've chosen to do, all started in 2011 when my Pisces, because I'm a double Pisces, had Neptune in it and everything was awakening. So I'm go back to 2011 and find out what affected you. So because Neptune is in Pisces, it holds the ocean of the collective, right? The big stuff. It stores ancestral memory and it holds the emotional imprint of our humanity. So this is not light. This is not easy. And we are now entering, as of the 10th, well, we already are there now because it's at 29.2, the 29 anaretic degree of Neptune in Pisces, the final dissolving before the next stage. Because when Neptune goes direct on December 10th, everything unresolved rises. Everything we've buried inside becomes visible. Everything we've numbed begins to thaw. And everything we thought we handled whispers again, we're not done. Everything we believed about ourselves gets questioned. This isn't failure. This is completion. It's like, did I clean out everything the way I want to? Now, I'm going to use an example. I bought an old house and it has mold. Little bits of mold in one section that's pretty nasty, not concerning nasty, but just needs to be taken care of. And that mold remediation is really important. And so what I'm realizing is that I kind of wanted to be flippant about it. Like, you guys go take care of that and I'll do this and that. And they're like, no, we're going to get this. We're going to double check. We're going to triple check. And when it's absolutely done, then we start the other projects. And I'm like, that's what this feels like. It feels like we want to capture all of those loose pieces of what we haven't handled or what is numbing us or what we've buried inside, right? Because our body is preparing to leave a 165-year cycle of spiritual amnesia. Of course, this is going to feel strange. So, December is this corridor of unknowing, right? You're not imaging the way that you want your life to be. You can't see it. It isn't taking form. And there's discomfort, and there's a pause, and there's a lack of clarity. And the emotional swings are going up and down. And the desire to stay home, the desire to retreat, to resist any or all obligations, the sense that something is shifting inside of you and you don't know quite how to handle it. So, whether we learn this as children or we learn this as adults, when we feel like things are a little wobbly, we pull back. It makes sense. And so this December is the month where the known dissolves long before the new arrives. So we're in this sort of in-between stage, which makes this holiday season from Thanksgiving through to the New Year's, the beginning of January, even harder because we don't want to. I came down to visit my daughter because it's much easier to come down and cook some food and play some cards and go out and help them pick out a Christmas tree or go with them along the hike, not do anything with it, right? Instead of going and doing Christmas parties, work parties, friends gatherings, too many people, too much noise, too much alcohol. And I'm like, no, this is exactly the level that I'm ready for, because the tradition or the gatherings is felt hollow for me. The body doesn't want to play along. It's like I can do this for about 10 minutes and then the noise is too much. The emotional load is heavier, which means that, it's almost like when your intuitive skills pick up, you're just watching couples fight, you're watching dissonance, you're watching people over medicate with alcohol or weed or, you know, champagne galore, right? And you're like, or food. And you're like, oh, this is not feeling good to me. And your energy is saying, not that, not anymore. Don't want to do that. You're not regressing. You're outgrowing that entrainment programming, that social entrainment that I talked about on Wednesday, right? So what your body is actually doing is letting go of old timelines. It's rejecting outdated obligations. It's clearing emotional debris. It's releasing family programming, old family programming. It's preparing for Neptune's departure from Pisces and the arrival into Aries, which is going to be very different. And you're stabilizing the 3-eye Atlas solar pass, which on December 19th, 3-eye Atlas comes as close to the Earth as it will before it leaves on a different trajectory. It's updating your intuitive receptors, off the charts intuition, right? And it's strengthening your pre-conscious sensing, where your clairs are working in your system and starting to teach your brain, your mind, how it collects, how it stores, how it works with energy. That's why you feel tired and foggy and emotional and unmotivated and spacey and wired, like you can't sleep, but exhausted and interested in socializing and hyper aware of other people's energies, right? It's the upgrade in process. Wow. So I have 6 tips for you today. And before I do those tips, what I want to do is continue to invite you to come join us on Patreon. There's a gathering every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time where we have a Zoom meeting. We don't record it. It's private. We just share our insights, our observations, and we build the structure. And so last week we went through the gates of programming and talked about where those pieces are sticky within us. And it was fun. Now, the other thing is you can join Patreon without paying a fee, just to get to read our posting gathering place where we put all of these pieces that I use to build this information that I bring to you each Sunday, and everybody else posts what they're sharing as well. So it's a really nice collaborative group. So if you want to, there's a connection down below for how to join Patreon. We'd love to see you there. And it's always fun to see a new face on Tuesday. All right, 6 tips for you. Some of these are going to feel very repetitive and at the same time like you're hearing them with new ears. So the first one is to trust the invisible before the visible. Your body reads the field faster than your intellect, faster than connection between the eyes and your brain, right? If you feel contracted, hesitant, foggy, or emotional, this is data. This is information. I love the word, it's just information. Trust what you sense, even though you can't name it yet, which is like, yeah, no, I, I've checked in a couple times, or I get this feeling I don't want to do that. So you listen to it. You trust the invisible before the visible. Number two, you slow down the mind and stay present with the sensation, which is hard, especially if we aren't used to feeling the sensation and we feel discomfort because our mind doesn't understand and it speeds up and it starts to go into hyperdrive and grab, like, oh, maybe this is fear. Maybe I need to grab this. But the body, when it doesn't understand, it wants to speak. It wants to say, hey, feel this. Like whether it's an upset stomach, whether it's a pounding head, whether it's a waft, a current of energy that sort of floats through you, you're like, wow, I just felt that. Thank you for giving me that information. So slow down the mind and stay present to the sensation is number two. Number three, treat emotional waves as weather, not identity. So this Gemini moon plus the water trine equals a lot of temporary tides of old emotions. Lots of old shit is coming forward. So you ride them. You don't interpret them. You don't try to understand them and break them down and make lists and goals. What you do is you ride them and you respond. You don't react. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Number four, simplify your physical world. I say this over and over again, and I have been teaching voluntary simplicity since 1995. Your nervous system cannot process chaos and cosmic restructuring. It's almost as if the crazier your world is, the crazier this information is coming in, and you get to choose, like, which one. So if you can bring a little bit of order, clear a space, create one anchor, give your body someplace to land. So for me, the someplace to land is I have this really nice L couch and it's next to the fireplace and I've got my, everything I need right there. And when that is clean and in order, my body can relax, right? Number five, update your timeline immediately. If something suddenly feels off, your body is retracting life force from an outdated timeline. It's like, yep, don't want to go shopping with that person anymore. Don't want to go to that coffee shop and have that menu anymore. Listen and then choose again and go, okay, so if that isn't working, is there something else that I want to do? And then you listen and your body will tell you. So you react, not react, you respond quickly when your body says, hey, stop doing this with me. And you're like, okay. Because remember, managing you and your field and your body is a full time job. It's your main job for being here. And number six, compassion. It's your stabilizer. We know this. Compassion for your body's pace, for your fatigue, for your confusion, for your emotions, for your loved ones. It softens the field. It stabilizes your system, right? And it allows the unknown to feel safe. So these tips are just powerful one at a time. You start blending all of those and you're walking through with a much clearer idea of who you are and what's going on right now. Because you're not lost, you're not behind, and you're not falling apart. That's the most important thing. You're not falling apart. You are transitioning between two versions of reality. Your body knows the way, trust it. This December is not meant to be clear. It's meant to be felt. So you're not going to get that clarity even with that Gemini moon. You're not going to get that clarity of this is who I am and this is what I want to do right now. What you are doing is saying this is what I'm feeling. And I will be here every Sunday in December and January walking us through what is going on, what I'm seeing, what I'm reading, what the experts or the masters are saying, right? And then we'll bring it to you. So just know that I'm here. So I have a journal prompt for you, and I'm going to write it down below as well. which is what truth or inner knowing is rising in me now that I can feel. Even if I can't name it, what is it? And I'll put that down below. So thank you for watching. Be gentle with yourself, and I will see you next week. Take care.